Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're supposed to go in the sink, and you're not. Welcome back to Maniac. Fuck. Welcome back to Remake-A-Thon II. We're talking about Maniac, the 2012 remake of Maniac starring Elijah Wood. Directed by Frank, spelled with a CK, Dan, Kalfun. Written by Alexander Aja, who did many movies like Crawl and The Hills Have Eyes remake, and of course everyone's favorite horror slasher film, High Tension. It makes no sense. Movie makes no sense. It's good up until the reveal, and it's like, nope, doesn't make any sense. And when you say it's an unreliable narrator, it's that no. It's just, yeah, you had a twist. It didn't work. Admit it. Now we have the remake of Maniac. I did the original Maniac for Tubi 80s Horror Weekend. And so I did that. I enjoyed it. It had Joe Spinell playing the role of Frank Zito. Now we have did Joe Spinell direct it? He wrote it. William Lustig directed it. He co-wrote it. C.A. Rosenberg. Yeah. And the one thing I knew going into this, besides Elijah Wood being in this, is that it is from Frank's point of view. Like, literally the camera is him, moves with him. And I will say this. This works a million times better than anything in a violent nature. Let me tell you why. One, our character talks. It's not just walking around. There's actually some sort of score going on and not just... You do hear him breathe from time to time, but he actually interacts with people, where in that one, he just kind of follows them. This one, he follows them, but he also interacts with people. You know? There are oftentimes, I forget there's not supposed to be a camera, though, which is like, isn't it weird? No, there's not a camera. It's just supposed to be him. Because, I don't know, it feels found footage, even though no, it's not found footage, but that's what it feels like to me. I don't know why. Because most new found footage movies go for that idea of, we gotta do it in 4K and shit. Or HD as it would have been at this point. And it pretty much follows the story to the T with a couple of changes here and there. One big change with how, because they don't really go into Frank's relationship with his mother in the original, and here it's like, oh, she was a whore. And, like, she let Frank see her get banged. Like, there's a whole thing where she's gonna have a three-way with two guys, and he's hiding in the closet, and she notices in there, and she just smiles. Like, that is child abuse. And then, like, she's getting railed on the street, doggy style, by some dude. And she's like, Frankie, go wait in the car. Go wait in the car, Frankie. Oh, now you don't want him to see it. You're fine with a three-way with some dude railing you, and I'm just like, what? And of course, who wouldn't that fuck up? Right? You've seen your mom get railed by dudes. Right? That's gonna fuck anyone up. Right? My mom accidentally flashed me one time, and I thought I was gonna have a coronary. My eyes! It was an accident. She was fixing her shirt. It was recent. She was fixing her shirt, and there it was. My eyes! Right? So to see your mom doing it with someone, no, you don't want that. No. Kind of gets inside of why he's so fucked up, though. He's hunting down women, just like in the original. He's scalping them. Though, the first one he does, it comes off very easily. Did you know that if you just cut right here, the whole scalp just comes off like that? don't do any other cuts. Don't have to rip it. It just it he cuts. He's holding onto it. He cuts it. It just comes right off. He doesn't even pull it. It just comes right off. Something tells me that was like the last shot that they did, and they just wanted to get over with. Because all the other ones take a while. He actually peels it off and stuff. The gore's pretty good in this, you know. And also, unlike in a violent nature, they find a way creatively to move away from Frank when we need to show Frank, right? Because there's a scene where he's dating this girl. He's got to date this girl Lucy, right? Like, first of all, I don't want to criticize this woman. She takes it. She's like, I got a surprise for you, and I'm like, okay. And she's like, what do you think? And I'm like, they're tiny. So you can touch them. I'm like, I'd be like, okay, sure. And he's just like feeling it. It's almost like it's almost like Psycho, where it's like you got a psychotic break, and the mother is like also sort of like a alternate personality of sorts. Like she freaks out whenever he's close to having sex. Because like she's like, oh, I'll go down on you, and this whole thing, she has a mirror, so you see the reflection of him, right? And then all of a sudden he's straight. I like how it does that, like she's going down, and all of a sudden you just hear, and he's like choking her right there. Nice little effect, right? You meet, of course, like the original, he meets Anna. I don't know if she's the photographer in the original one, but she is here. And like, I don't blame him for snapping in this one, because at one point, like, she's like leading him around, they're going out for dinner and stuff, and then she's like, oh, that's my boyfriend. And he's just like, she's like, are you okay? You just told the guy you were leading on that you had a boyfriend. They do break up by the end of this, but you know. There's a scene. I think Frank could have handled this one better. So he's following this one girl. She's with some friends, and she separates them to go on the subway. He follows her onto the subway. She gets off. He gets off. And she just sort of... It's a weird thing, because he's watching her from a certain point in like her building or something. In the building that they're in, he's watching her. And then it cuts to... They're walking outside, and he's just standing there, and they walk by him, and I'm like, is that supposed to be his point of view? It is, because it starts moving, and I'm like, okay. Like, they don't say anything about the random dude just standing there. Sometimes that happens, where someone just walks by him and doesn't say anything. Like, I think sometimes I forget he's supposed to be standing there and not the camera. Because at that point, they should be like, can we help you? But he's just like standing, he's following him. And then they realize, oh, we have to actually, you know, that's what it feels like to get on the subway and everything. Then she's like, oh, you're following me and everything. And yeah, she gets the scalp treatment, you know. I mean, like scalp treatments, right? I stick my tongue. I mean, stick my tongue. Here's a photo, Scotty photo of the day. Sorry. Let me get more and more into his backstory of what happened and everything. Elijah Wood does a pretty good job with this. Like Lucy is in the dating side. What else is there? Yeah, Anna's taking photos of the mannequins in the storefront. They don't have the... One thing that bugged me... It's going to be funny. Trust me. So, like, the whole thing is that because he has the scalps on the mannequins, it attracts flies. And he sprays it with spray or whatever. And I'm just... It's like a fragrance spray or something. And I'm just like... You know... And I'm no expert. Trust me. I think if you wash the scalps before you put them on, I know it's still dying skin, so it probably wouldn't have helped. But like, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's not working. And so there's the opening scene, or maybe not opening scene, but the scene where he's in bed. And there's another woman in bed with him. I'm like, oh, So he does have a girlfriend. He mentions it. And when he comes home with one of the girls, I think it's Lucy's scalp. He's like, "Hey, I'm home. This is Lucy. This is my girlfriend." He fixes it, and then the mannequin turns into Lucy for a second, and then he goes over to the girlfriend and it's a mannequin. Like, oh, but it was always a mannequin. So we're seeing from his point of view, he's fucked up. He thinks they're really real, right? He kills Anna's mentor, Rita, because she was mocking him for his interest in mannequins. Like, and like, the boyfriend is like, "Did you play with dolls as a child?" And Frank's like, "I'm not gay." I'm like, "Okay, so you play with dolls." "I played with dolls as a kid, and I'm not gay." G.I. Joes, people call those dolls, right? Action figures, they call them dolls. I had a Ken when I was like 8 because my sister got Barbies and my mom think I'd be left out. I also had a big ass G.I. Joe one too that she stole to date her Barbies. G.I. Joe is in the army. He does not have time to date your horse. Okay? He has very important terrorists to kill. He doesn't have time. Okay? No time for booty call for G.I. Joe. She kept taking him. I'm just saying. The hell was I talking about? Just because you play with dolls doesn't mean you're gay. Okay? I don't count G.I. Joe as a doll anyway. The Ken, yeah, maybe, but I don't give it to her anyway. The G.I. Joe, no. You can articulate his arms. Barbies, you can't just like that, right? You can't move Barbie's arms like that. She's gonna do that. G.I. Joe can do the whole thing. Like this. So, G.I. Joe's the real American hero. So he calls and who tells him about Rita's murder. They have a relationship. She's French, by the way. But then Frank fucks up because they start having a conversation and he starts saying things only Killer would know. Like mentioning the other women, and she's like, "Well, how did you know there were other women?" And he's like, "It's on the news. They didn't mention other women." The fuck they didn't! We saw the news reports that there was women that went missing, or died or something. I don't know what she's trying to say. So then he realized that he's caught, so he tries to kill her, and her neighbor and friend Martin breaks in to help, but of course Frank kills him with a cleaver, and then he's able to break down the bathroom door and choke her, knocks her unconscious. He takes body into his van and drives home, but as he goes to open the door, she regains consciousness and stabs him in the stomach with a piece of rebar attached to a mannequin's hand, which she runs off and is picked up by a passing car, whose driver panics at the sight of blood-covered Frank and runs him down. Which makes it crash and flings Anna through the windshield. I missed that part. What happened? I was busy towards the end of this movie. That's not this part though. Frank, now bloodied, hobbles to the mortally wounded Anna and scalps her as she dies. When he goes home, we get a reenactment with the ending from the original, where he sees the mannequins transforming into his victims and beginning to tear his body apart, but it's more morbid here. And Anna's in a wedding dress because she's his wife, his bride, or whatever. She walks away on him, and the SWAT team breaks into Frank's apartment, only to find his corpse in the closet along with his collection of scalps. So he's dead in this one, not pop his eyeball open like in the original. This was good. Yeah, I'll give it a pretty good. So, yeah. I do want to announce I'm shortening this. I would have 15. But I think I'll just do Monday through Friday, 2 a day, so it's equal of 10. Because I wanna move on. I wanna do other videos. I've done so many in a series of stuff lately. I just wanna be able to do a few videos. Once I get to May, I'm hoping I'll record. But for the rest of March and April, I want to just do random shit. Right? Because I'm recording in March, by the way, even though I said in one of the last ones it's April. I did that for, you know. But yeah, I enjoyed this. Elijah Wood is pretty good. Not the first choice you would think. And he is a little more clean than Joe Spinell was. You know. It was all greasy in here. They do mention that. I thought someone like that would be hairy and greasy. I'm like, okay, like Joe Spinell was in the original. Is it better than the original? Maybe. It's well done. I had my doubts when they said it was from the point of view of the killer. But, oh, that's right, it is. When they started, I'm like, oh no, this is some in violent nature shit. But it's actually better than that. And I want to point out that when In the Violent Nature came out, they made a big deal. It's a horror movie from the perspective of the killer. Never seen it before. Bullshit! It's called Maniac from 2012. Never seen it before. And this movie better. Much better. Yeah, get. Now we have an egg and do the dance of joy. So what are your thoughts on Maniac? So like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeast.